share with you the closest that my work comes to entrepreneurship. I'm an academic, I'm a professor, and I work with human beings, both in the classroom and beyond. And what I would like to start by taking you in one of the places on earth that 20 years ago, 19 years ago, in your lifetime, was one of the most hopeless places on earth. People were jumping into this river. People were throwing their kids into the river, choosing death by drowning to death by genocide. This is Akagera. It's a beautiful, beautiful river with a terrible history. And this photo is taken at the frontier between Rwanda and Tanzania. It is taken at the beginning of a 10-year journey that we have done with students from Western and with orphans, with genocide orphans from Rwanda. And it is a transformational journey for everyone that has come along. And it is a journey from which I would like to sample moments and insights into a theory of hope. Because for all you change makers in the room, you are traders in human enterprise, and you are traders in hope. And you begin with yourselves, and with finding that glimmer of hope that carries you forward, but you also work with a hope in others. And particularly, you will start, those of you who work with needs, with problems, you will have a taste of hopelessness, and you will have to figure out your model, your way to turn that hopelessness into hopefulness. So in this picture, you may not see it, but there is a beautiful rainbow coming all the way across. And that rainbow is also very much like hope. Rainbows are very simple. It only takes water vapor and sunshine, but they don't happen all the time. And to manufacture a rainbow is as easy or difficult as it is to manufacture hope. So let's see how easy or difficult it may be. When we started this journey, we started at one of the orphanages in Rwanda. We started with people who had no other hope for their future. They didn't have a job, they didn't have an education, and they couldn't afford to go to university. They didn't know where this journey will take them. Most of them have never been out of the country. Most of them had never been out of the city. And they were courageous enough to come along on this journey with us. In less than 10 years later, they had come back with an enterprise of their own, an enterprise that they chose to call Girubuzima, and to emphasize that they're now a family, that they have come together as a family. And this is the same group as they finished the journey. This journey is not unique. It's the first time this journey happened in Rwanda, and it's special to us because it's a journey of a group of youth your age. Perhaps not with the privileges that you have, but very much like you in the way they would like to imagine their future, a future of abundance, a future of hope. And very much like you, they had to learn enterprise, and they had to learn it by doing it. So my name is Oana Branzei. I work at Ivey. I'm a professor here. I also work a lot with the Building Sustainable Value Center with social entrepreneurs here in London and globally. And I particularly work at the intersection of positive organizational behavior and scholarship and sustainable enterprise. And this is an intersection that we're just beginning to understand. And hope is just one of the theories that we're trying to build. We know a lot about hope as a level, as a station in life, but we know very little about the production of hope. What we do know is that hope is very fragile. This little girl, whose name is Problem, she was baptized Problem because she was born with HIV/AIDS. She's a 3-year-old girl that is finally able to stand up because she has been part of the Chem Chem feeding program with the yogurt that you'll see these entrepreneurs produce. For a normal, healthy child, being on a diet of yogurt brings them to their feet in about 2 months' time. It's one of the quickest recoveries possible. But for a child living with HIV/AIDS, it took her 1 year to be able to sit up. So hope is fragile because although this child was finally able to stand up, her mother was not able to think of this child as anything but a problem, and had not yet overcome her reluctance of feeding this child a meal because she was so afraid that this child will never recover the capacity to go to school or become a member in society. And I was a witness to how her mom was being coached by other mothers whose children have overcome extreme malnutrition and were finally going to school. And her mother was getting a lesson in becoming hopeful about her own child. But hope is also resilient. Along with problem, there were a lot of 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds that had walked 3 or 4 kilometers that day and were just waking up for their nap because they were so exhausted arriving, but they were just waking up to receive their meal. And after their meal, they were also going to get a lesson, a school lesson, and they were going to get some playtime with their new friends. And they were going to have a little bit of a community for themselves. But hope is not only resilient, it is truly transformative. And this is one of my favorite pictures. It's one household of orphans that we were able to learn from their life stories. And again, it's hard to see in the picture, but that is the day when they received their house. And they came together as sole survivors of their family to share that house. And 7 years later, they are going to school, they're smiling, they have a very, very good enterprise in the wedding business. Wedding business is big business in Rwanda. And they're able to put themselves through school, and they're looking forward to the future as a way to build their own families, looking forward and probably have their own weddings. It's transformative because it gives them a chance to see themselves as not only human beings in need, but more importantly, human beings with much to give to others, and entrepreneurs. Hope is oftentimes moral. We moralize hope. We take stances. We decide what hope comes packaged with. And this is one of the worst moments in the human history of health and development because we often carry forward our beliefs, our assumptions, our goals into other people's lives. But there are ways to give hope, material, substantive hope, that do not carry beliefs. And that often comes with a cup of porridge or a cup of yogurt. It comes with crafting an art craft together. It comes with building a house together. Hope that is material is often one of the most bonding experiences among people and one of the longest lasting. It does not require words. It simply requires actions, but material actions. And when those actions take place, when clothes travel all over the world, hope can be truly beautiful. And this is one of my favorite pictures. It has not been staged at all. It is a young girl that is doing very well. She's the same age as Problem. She's participating in the same feeding program as Problem, but she's not a problem at all. Her name is Marianne, and she's chosen a purse that says, "It's all about me," and her t-shirt says, "She's 100% lovable." So this is one of the images of hope that you can see, again, the transformation that material hope brings, letting people be who they choose to be, how they choose to be colorful and hopeful. In terms of the processes of hope, what we have learned in this journey is that hope is truly connective. It brings people together. It brings people together that do not speak the same language, that do not understand the same math, they do not have the same business plans. Because they can share a material exchange, they can be together, they can smile together, and they can build business together with very little indeed. Hope is also contagious, and it flows like water in a very predictable way. It flows from those that have most or have rebuilt the most hope to those that have the least. And in our groups, this is one of the mamas that is the most empowered. She has seen her kitchen not only grow the production, but she has a training site where she trains other yogurt kitchens teams. And in our group of youth, this was our most reluctant and least hopeful. And they had a takeaway moment in which you could almost feel the connection and the contagion of hope. Hope is also additive. What that means is that there are new friendships, but very often times when there is hope, business sprawls. It can grow as a franchise, which in our case, this enterprise has grown as a franchise, but it grows in terms of human connection as well. You have one more entrepreneur, and if you can go one entrepreneur at a time, it is quite amazing when you can achieve. But when you can grow these teams 6 or 7 or 8 entrepreneurs at a time, and you can grow them simultaneously in 20 countries, it is quite amazing how quickly the math works. But oftentimes, hope is not just additive. It can even be multiplicative, because a single person can give hope to many more. In a regular kitchen, on a single day, cash flow positive, they can sell 100 liters of yogurt. 100 liters of yogurt feeds at least 200 people, but can feed up to 400 people. Not only is it multiplicative, but sometimes it can be exponential, because apart from the nutrition, what comes with that cup of yogurt is alleviation of stigma for being HIV/AIDS. It is a healing cure because it helps you take the medicine you need to continue on with life. It is exponential because it allows you to have a community of friends, and it allows you to muster up the courage of thinking that you too, when you feel well enough to walk up the stairs and grab your own cup of yogurt, maybe a few weeks later, a few months later, you will feel strong enough and hopeful enough to have one of your own kitchen and give yogurt and hope to others. And this is my last slide, and it's where the theorizing of hope is at the moment. And I'm going to take a few moments to challenge you with the notion of hope being elliptical, being something that you can create within yourself. We know that entrepreneurs invoke role models, invoke lessons of life, invoke mental images such as a rainbow over Akajira River to keep going when the going gets tough. And that enables them to modify their current reality and see through it just far enough to the reality they desire so that they can keep moving forward. I am truly hoping that in the next year and a half, we will have new theories of hope and really learn how to manufacture hope in all places. And I certainly take a lot of admiration for people who do that as part of products and interactions with our customers, because I think we all need a little bit more hope in our lives.